Right, very well. And on to Edo State. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo on Tuesday directed the 18 local government areas chairmen in the state to submit their statements of account within 48 hours. The directive was given during a meeting with the council chairman at the government house in Benin City, where the governor, represented by his deputy, Dennis Idahosa, emphasized the need for transparency and accountability in governance. The statement of accounts, according to the governor, should cover the period from September 4, 2023 to date and be submitted to the Assets Verification Committee through the Office of the Secretary to the State Government. Speaking at the meeting, Idahosa relayed the governor's resolve to foster collaboration with the council bosses for the state's progress. Earlier, the chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Edo State Chapter, and chairman of Ohion One Local Government Area, Newman Ugabe, led the council bosses on a courtesy visit to the governor. Ugabe expressed the chairman's commitment to Okpebholo, to Okpebholo's administration, pledging to support his policies and programs to deliver dividends of democracy to the grassroots. Let me start with you on this, Chizi. What do you make of this story?
You see, as much as I applaud the coming together and talking together, interacting, because we must all interact for government too. But the question I will ask is, when are we going to begin to respect this autonomy? When are we begin to respect all of that? That a governor, you will visit the governor, and the governor will say everybody submit their account. It's like President Tinubu asking all the governors to submit their account in 24 hours.
48 hours.
I mean, 48 hours. It's like President Tinubu. You see, what you will not like another person to do to you, don't do it to another person. Let us not look at this local government as an appointee, our own appointee. See, they are not the MDAs of the state government. They are autonomous government. So if there's anybody they should submit, it is the councillors or the legislative arms or this to call them to submit their account, not the governor. We must understand this. This is not, it's not as much as we feel that, okay, this is transparency, this is accountability. No. We need to understand, we need to check this. I am on the APC, but even if I'm in APC, certain things we shouldn't go overboard in trying to do well. I have supported the governor in his, he's been like one of my friends will say, there are some, ripe fruits to be plucked. He's doing well in that angle. But on this, why are we doing this military mentality? Why are you doing this unitary thing? You are commanding the governor. Why? And no chairman want to challenge that. And if anybody begins to challenge that, they say he's opposing the governor. Well, that is not, governor, that is not wrong. That is very wrong. You don't call this thing as much as you want them to do right. You can advise them on what to do. Don't ask them to bring, because they're not submitting to you.
And you feel, okay, now in your opinion, the governor is overstepping.
It's overstepping.
He does not have the constitutional powers to ask the local government chairman to submit to them. All right, we'll still come back to the constitutional powers of the governor with respect to the activities of the local government. But let me come to you, Nzai. What do you make of this story?
First, since after the declaration of Okpebholo as the substantive governor of Edo State, and I watched him very closely, because prior to his election, he wasn't my candidate.
Okay.
Yes, I was standing for Asue Godalo. But when he was declared, I said, okay, he has been declared, he has won. Let me watch him. It shocked me that within 3 days, this young man proved to everyone who was watching that he has something to offer. And from that very day, because I am not a man in politics for my personal interest. Right. I'm in politics for the interests of the people. So I saw him working. I stood by him. And I have said in Channels Television, I've made it clear in Channel Television and other television stations that Okpebholo seem to have something to offer. Nice. Now, coming to this, you see, first, you pick from his point that he believes in good governance and accountability. Okay. I heard him for that. And that's where he called the local government chairman and said, man, we get to do this. Now, number two, the local government chairman rallied through their chairman rallied together around the governor, irrespective of the fact that they were not from the same political party. But because you see that most of the local government chairmen are coming from PDP. And this is APC man. But they came together and say, we will work with you. You know, when like you look at the if I may say, the military approach in the command of the governor through his deputy, it looked somehow. But in as much as we point that to the governor and say, okay, watch it. Yes, you don't have absolute power. But we realize that you are the father of Edo State. You are the #1 citizen in Edo State. So speaking to the local government chairman, yes, you have right to talk to them as people who are a bit lesser in governance than you, who are closer to the grassroots. Now, telling them that there is need for good governance, there is need for accountability. Now, I love that. But telling them 48 hours is wrong. I will not stand with him on that.
So is it okay for them to submit their statement of account to the statement of account of the council to the governor?
Well, you look at it, it is the constitution that will clarify that. Because to me, I wouldn't say that I know more to Edo State constitutions and guide laws and all that. But to a large extent, asking them to submit those, not to the governor, but to the accountant general through the office of the secretary of the state.
Accountant general
is to the governor.
That is I'm telling about the office. But whether it is right or wrong, the constitution will clarify that. But for him to calling them to order, to ensure that they carry out good governance and accountability to the people they are representing, I think that is okay.
All right, they didn't say they should submit to accountant general. They said to submit to the assets verification.
Yes.
Through the secretary, through the office of the secretary to the governor. So basically, I didn't see the finger or the influence of the legislature, the Edo State House of Assembly. Now, you said you don't know much about
the constitution of the Edo State.
What is provided. This is not even about the constitution of the state. It is about the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think section 6 or thereabout. Now, provides that the state houses of assembly make laws for the local government. The state governors do not have any business with the day-to-day running of local governments. It is the state houses of assembly that make laws for the local government. Now, in this instance, if there was need for, let's say, a probe into the financial spending or expenses or appropriation and misappropriation of council bosses, in this instance, the Edo State local government chairman, it is the State House of Assembly that will call for that probe. It is the State House of Assembly that will give that instruction that statements of accounts be submitted to the State House of Assembly, not to the office of the governor. That's on one hand. Now, on another hand, we also have, you are aware that local governments also have a legislative arm by councillors. Now, councillors also have their own rules as well. The State House of Assembly, the State Houses of Assembly cannot impeach local government chairmen. They cannot impeach, they can only make laws to regulate their governance and probably their spending and all of that. However, the councillors,
the local government legislature.
Yes, being the councillors here. They are the ones that can make laws to regulate things like markets, mortuaries, and oversee the day-to-day function of the local governments.
Street roads and the rest of them.
They can oversee that. They legislate on that. And they are the ones that can impeach local government chairmen if they are accused of misappropriation or, gross misconduct. But in all of this, I am trying to figure out where a state governor fits in and what empowers a state governor, in this instance, Edo State Governor, Governor Okpebholo, to order the local government chairman to submit statement of accounts to him, within 48 hours. Whether he's saying submit to the Asset Verification Committee or submit to the secretary is irrelevant. It is on his table. It is going to his table, the executive. Not even the legislature, the executive. Isn't that not even just having absolute powers, but that is gross misconduct?
Yeah.
If you call it gross misconduct, it will be interpreted by Edo State House of Assembly. If you call it absolute
not
power,
the Edo State House of Assembly, what does the Nigerian Constitution say?
You know that the governor has people who work with him. He has legal luminaries who work with him. He has Chief Justice in his, and if these people are there and governor is infringing on the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, then they really want him to flop. They want him to fall. I have told you I will only talk to the extent to which I am aware.
All right.
Anywhere I am not too certain, I will see how I wriggle myself out of it.
You wriggle yourself out.
Yes, I'll just wriggle myself out of it.
All right.
Because for now, as it stands, I believe that what he said to the local government chairman was advisory. And if truly he was given that mandate, as we have seen, giving them 48 hours and all that, and it is contrary to the law, I believe that he should be called to order. But if the people of Edo and the people of Edo State and those who understand the interpretation of the law and those who make law thinks that what he did or what he's doing is okay by them, then let them take it. But
right.
if they have any reason to question it, I believe that they will call him to the house and say, Your Excellency, you are not getting it right here. This is not your boundary. Does not get to this point. So you know that you have to maintain the boundary and allow these people to function. If there is any need for accountability, I mean for record keeping and all that, they can either go to their assembly and not to your office. Right. And also, since I told you first, there are two things I picked: good governance and accountability. It was a good advice.
Is this in line with good governance and accountability, or is this a political move? Now, Chizzy, I'm asking you this question now. Or is this a political move to, hold on to the structure of the states, one, through the local government chairman, and keep them under the control and influence of the governor?
Well, whether you want to say that or yes, of course, even the local government chairman had already gone to pledge their loyalty to him. So that would not just be, it's just that in his excitement or whatever I may call it, like they did say that all of this, that he has some advisors who should advise him better. And I was asking, all of those flagrant display of powers in other states, don't they have legislators? I mean, don't they have advisors who do that?
Legal team.
Legal team. See, I have been in government to an extent that is, there are some...
One would say is Senator Okpebholo new to politics?
He's not new. So, and you call him a senator, that means that he's also a legislator. He's the person who knows the boundaries of the executive. So it's not about, sometimes the reason why we are here, the reason why we are privileged to be talking here is that they listen to us. It could also remind them of their excesses and they will come down. It happens. So when you are saying it, you're not saying it because they have it. If they had it, it would have been coming up. The reason why we analyze, they say we are policy analysis and all of that. The reason we are public analysts is because we are trying to remind them of certain things. That's why you see, can I shock you? It will be difficult or near difficult with my experience in government. It will be near difficult for a press secretary, a chief press secretary, to make a statement without the authorization of his boss. But sometimes you see that after public analysis, the boss will deny that doesn't know about it, and sometimes fire the person and hire him from the back. Do you know why? The reason is simple. At the point they were doing it, they were faced with either sentiments or political experiences. To do that. Now, when you say bring all of you, bring your finances, you know what you're trying to do? You're trying to say, okay, so that if there was any place the other governor is getting some things from there, we'll bring them and catch them. I am saying the young man is doing very nice in his very first days, but he shouldn't go. As much as I'm an APC person, I should be supporting him. But as much as I support him, he shouldn't go overboard. Or having gone through the Senate should mean that he should respect certain boundaries. When you respect certain boundaries, you see, if performance is what can keep people in government for as long as, maybe a Bill Clinton or Obama would have been president today. It's not about performance. It's about the fact and the law taking its call. So we must respect that. Look, in spite of how good or how better you are, that these things, you shouldn't do that. And you see, that's where we enter into compromises. Sometimes, because we are good, sometimes you take care of something. And this is what's happening in River State. Just a little bit of breaking. This is what's happening in River State. Because other governors has done certain things and then it's waived. When people begin to question certain things, it looks like those people are evil. Why are you questioning this now? You don't know that at the point that you were together, you were all romancing together, certain things can be you know,
Ignored.
Ignored.
Waved off.
When I was in the ward, you know, you could go with some ladies, and then one small girl would tell you, ah, baby, call an old man like me, baby. But that person cannot see me on the road and call me a baby. And I said, do you understand what I mean? So in that word, anything can happen. A governor can, as well, I'm here speaking. In Rivers State, we have had governors who will go to execute project, you know, even announce money, spend money, and come back after 3 days to the assembly, and assembly will write it and say we have passed it into law. That's because there is this marriage, and so if you now begin to do it and somebody is questioning it, it looks like no, what the person is doing is wrong. No, the person is right. Maybe you didn't relate well on how it is done. I went to buy a Bible. And so I came back. My wife bought a Bible, and she told me the Bible is this amount. Oh no, she said this Bible is this amount. I said no, that Bible is not that amount. So I went to the place to buy that Bible. It was higher. And so I bought it and then came back to the house. My wife said, how much? I mentioned a low price so that, you know, she would not. My wife now, when my wife has a way of pricing even in the supermarket, I don't know why people price in the supermarket. There's tag. My wife will still tell you, please, can you remove something here? She has this negotiating, you know, skill of something. And she will get a rebate from it. So she will go and remove that thing. So the way she gets it is not the way I get it. So I gave up. She now goes to the market and I relax. So somehow, some negotiation. Speaker, how are you now, boy? Or Master Bana come. Certain things are taken about. So, but that does not mean that when people begin to question it, they are not right.
All right. Very well.